All right, I'm about to see if I can save the world in less than like a fucking hour, which might sound ridiculous, but to me it's not. And that's what fucking blows my mind because it's like that's the standard that I have for myself. I look at what's seemingly impossible and I make it as possible as I possibly can in my fucking head. And it fucks me up because that's a standard that I only hold for myself. That's my ideal. And I see it so clearly all the fucking time, but I know it doesn't measure up to other people's. And it's intimidating as fuck to be open about it because once you open that door, then it's like you can't fucking close it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to. I got to because that's the standard that I set for myself. Now, when I think of greatness, this is what blows my mind about the shit so much. When I think of greatness, I genuinely believe that it can only come from a place of what's your highest standard and are you able to embody that while completely disregarding everyone else. Not even just everyone else, but everything else like entirely and going for it 100%. And what that would mean in this instance, like what that would mean for me right here and right now would be for me to talk to this camera as if I'm just talking to myself. Or maybe not even myself, like a shit ton of different versions of myself who all roughly get what I'm saying, who all have that aspect inside their brain, their psyche, their spirit, their soul that understands every single word that comes out of my mouth, but maybe hasn't been able to connect them in the right fucking ways. And it's scary. It's scary as fuck. It's very fucking daunting because it's like, well, you're opening up a door that you can't necessarily close, and it's a door that it's not even a door that you walk through and you can't walk back. It's a door that you're going to walk through over and over and over and over and over and over again for the rest of your life if you're actually fucking walking through it. It's like a, what would you call it? A snowball effect. And it's been very, very intimidating to think about opening that door for myself because I'm like, well, once I step through that shit, I can't step back, but two, it's an uphill battle that I'm only going to be able to keep fighting unless I'm willing to wake up every single day and be like, I'm about to fight another uphill battle, and I got to. It's not that I got to, but I want to. I don't know. This shit fucks me up. Let me take my slides off, cause fucking fuck. But anyways, you know how I know that life's a fucking bitch, and this might sound kind of fucking weird, but it's the fucking truth, and it's because the world has been telling me for the longest fucking time to do certain things, right? And I'm about to do certain things. And it just fucks me up because I know this, like to the core of my fucking being. The moment I really start doing those things is gonna be a fucking problem. The world's gonna fucking flip on me. There's all this fucking shit. And nobody's gonna, not, I don't want to say nobody's gonna be happy, but people are going to be unhappy. A lot of people are gonna be unhappy, and the world's gonna probably attack me in certain ways. And I hate to put it like that, but it's just the truth. In reality, it's like I've seen time and time again. This it's just almost like a law of life. You see someone who's willing to stand up prominently and be like, "Hey, this is the truth, unapologetically, right? This is how I see it, right? God forbid you're making sense. You're actually saying shit that resonates with people and you do it well and you're able to articulate yourself well. Then it's like the world's basically like, "Oh fuck. No, we can't have this dude around. Like this is not good, bro." And it's like, and I hate to do the whole like whatever, like Matrix type shit, but it's like the Matrix starts attacking you for, and the only reason I use that phrasing or that terminology is because everybody knows what that means. It means basically the world, the social fabric that we've built or that has been built prior to us, is flipping on us, and it's flipping the fucking script. Now, on that note, I like to talk about this for a little bit because I've been working on a project essentially, and the whole project that I've been working on has had the theme or the name social suicide. And the reason that's the name and that's the theme and that's the title is because I'm pretty positive that is, I don't want to say the key, but it's a very significant, prominent, and undeniable factor of greatness. Essentially, you have to be okay and accepting of the thought of socially suiciding, I guess. And the reason that's such a bigger deal than anyone, listen, we live in a social world. Why my voice keep doing that shit? Ugh. Been having mucus problems for a very long time now. That started after I got a certain thing. Been very quiet about it for a while, but the shit fucks me up. Shit fucks me up. It's a lot better now, but let me not. I'm not going there. I'm not fucking going there. Long story short, I'm sick of being subject to other people's fucking stupidity. I hate that shit. It's damn near been the fucking story of my life for real. I'm not dealing with that shit anymore. That's part of why I'm doing this, cause fuck this shit and fuck. Respectfully, fuck the world, bro. It's like everybody agrees the world is fucking crazy. Everybody agrees that the world is fucking, that everybody else is fucking, I don't want to say stupid, but it's just like nobody has faith or trust in anybody else anymore. Everybody gave up on having faith in our institutions, our fellow human beings and all that shit. It sounds cynical. It sounds very, very, what would you call it? I don't know, just like dark or whatever, but it's like the fucking truth. Tell me you haven't, tell me your fucking friends haven't. It's like everybody's on that same fucking wave, and that's part of why shit is like degenerated so much. Anyways, fucking, we live in a social world. What that means is your place in society. Oh, that's what it is, yeah. We live in a society. No, fucking, we live in a society. It's a social world. That is the world that we live in. Social suicide is damn near the same thing as dying. It's so wild because you hear the phrase, you have to be okay with dying on that hill. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm ready to or prepared to die on that hill. In the most broad sense, in this society that we live in this social world that we live in, dying on that hill essentially means to be okay with socially suiciding. And what that means is basically like, what would you call it? Me against the world. Or you against the world. What does that mean? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that entail in terms of waking up every morning and going to sleep? And from everything, from when you wake up in the morning, from when you go to sleep. What does that look like? And it's essentially you, what would you call it? Embodying the purest version of yourself unapologetically from the moment you rise to the moment you fall or go to sleep, and that doesn't sound fun at all. It actually sounds fucking terrible. It sounds like one of the, I want to say the worst, but one of the least fun and the least enjoyable, and one of the just most not fun things you could fucking do. And that's why a lot of people don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But there are a few people out here who do, or who have, or at least who do from time to time. And I can list them off right now, or at least list off a few of them right now. And it's so interesting to me because this list of people, I can just say their fucking names. If you can just say somebody's name and then immediately somebody wants to tune them out, that's influence. That's the definition of having influence over people. It's like, holy fucking shit. Somebody's ideas, somebody's world perception, their worldview stuck out to you so fucking much that you were able to literally tune out part of existence because of what they were thinking or what they were saying. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what it was. Listen, like, I completely get it. Some people say some out-of-pocket shit. Maybe we're on the same fucking wavelength right now. We're thinking about the same fucking person. If we are, my point fucking stands. It's like, that's fucking influence. Do you feel me? I hope you fucking feel me, because it's like, holy fucking shit, bro. There's levels to this shit. And I feel like people don't get that. And it's so irritating because I feel like I spend time trying to get people to get that shit. But it's like, well, fuck it. You might not be supposed to get it. You might not supposed to, I don't know. Fucking, you know what I mean. Fucking, maybe I'm on a different fucking level. That's the shit that fucks me up, because I'm like, bro, is that why I'm so frustrated? Have I not been embodying that aspect of myself? That part of myself that needs to say these things? And I know I haven't said much yet. I know I'm just kind of rambling, but I'm gearing up. I'm getting myself fucking ready for real, because it's like, bro, it's just ads to think about. Like, it's like I'm sitting here fucking, I'm just knowing this shit. And I'm like, bro, one of the most lonely feelings, I guess, is knowing that if you really were to be yourself to the fullest extent, half of the people you know would stop fucking with you. Damn. I don't know. It's rough. It's rough because I've been sitting on that thought for a long ass fucking time. And then it's one of those deals where it's just like, oh, well, you know, if you don't tell people, they'll never fucking know. You know what I'm saying? But it's like what am I trying to say? I've always cared so fucking much what other people have thought about me. I've had social anxiety pretty much. Well, I don't want to say my whole entire life. Actually, I'll say from about when I was like 17, 18. And I want to say up until about a year ago. I don't care as much anymore. But the shit definitely held me back and limited me for a very long fucking time. And there's still aspects of it. Like, I still get socially anxious, but it's not something that like fucks me up where it's just like, oh, fuck, I can't, but it came from a place. It was very clear to me that it came from a place of social judgment. That's what it is. That's what social anxiety is. It's the fear of social judgment. But more specifically, I would want to say the fear of negative social judgment. So I am damn near an expert at understanding what, why, and how people might negatively view you or might not necessarily like you. You know what I'm saying? Or not fuck with you and everything. And over time, I've developed aspects of being like a chronic people pleaser because it's like, I want people to like me. Everybody does. You know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, it's not even necessarily coming from a place of wanting people to like you. It's also coming from a place of I genuinely want people to feel good. And this is part of what fucks me up the most when it comes to all of these things, because I think the biggest battle that I fight is when I'm going back and forth between I want to speak my mind, I want to speak my truth, I want to be open about these things, I want to say the things that I know. I don't want to say that I know, but that I feel as if other people are feeling, thinking, and wanting to say but can't because they're not necessarily in the place to, and there's a lot more for them to sacrifice, maybe than I have to sacrifice if they were to say it hypothetically. But I just I go back and forth between wanting to embody that, but also just wanting to make everybody else happy. And those things don't go together. Everybody knows that shit. It's like you can't make everybody happy. And I wrote a book, and in the book, I end up kind of elaborating on that a little bit, where it fucking sucks because it's like that's genuinely one of the things I've wanted my entire life. I'm like, if I could press a button, if I could figure out some kind of way or elaborate plan or whatever the fuck to make everybody happy, I would. And that's what also really fucks me up, because just like, well, isn't that kind of like the infinite Tsukuyomi from Naruto? Uh, Also, on that note, this is something I'm gonna talk about later on, but what would you call it? The reason I'm doing this right now, the reason I'm doing it in the way or the capacity that I am, is because everybody fucking knows we're kind of headed for some dystopian type shit. Like it's not even like a fucking joke anymore. It's not even like a, I don't know. Everybody knows this shit. Like it's clear as day, and it's just like as the fabric of reality starts to fucking shift around us, and nobody knows what's real or fake anymore. It's like people are gonna be looking for authenticity. They're gonna be looking for what's fucking real. And it's scary to be real, because it's like once you're truly embodying yourself, it's like you absolutely know that if somebody's not fucking with you, or if they are fucking with you, because I guess it's a, what'd you call it, double-edged sword, I don't know, you know that it's real, you know that it's solid, you know that it's genuine, because it's like you know that you're being genuine, so that feedback that you're getting is genuine. It's like what you put out is what you get back, type shit. um Type shit, no, but fucking yeah. And so I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, sorry, I kind of skipped past the point, and sorry if I'm talking about a whole lot of things at once and just blowing past points. I think I'm kind of like ADHD brain type shit, and I feel like everybody kind of is. So sometimes I end up thinking to myself, maybe the best thing for me to do is really to just talk off the rip and just keep fucking going and not fucking stop. But basically, what I was saying is, if you grew up watching anime or sci-fi or fantasy type films or anything like that, and that was kind of like a bit of a niche of yours, then um, what would you call it? I don't know. Shout out to you because you probably have an edge on everybody else who watched like the more kind of like reality type shit growing up and everything, because basically all we did was bombard ourselves with, you know, things that seemed theoretical and outside of the scope of what was actually possible. And um I don't know. You got an edge on some real shit because it's like we've been contemplating these thoughts and these ideas of a lot of what's about to manifest in reality now or over the course of the next couple years or decades. And it's just kind of wild to think about, but it's just like it's the fucking truth. It's like we're about to start dealing with some sci-fi fantasy dystopian type shit, and everybody knows that shit. And it's one of the things that I want to talk about because it's like, well, everybody knows it, but it seems like nobody's really fucking talking about it, or if they are, they're not doing it real enough. Like, this shit just fucks me up. It's like, bro, like we need to talk about these fucking things. um Anyways, I feel like I got sidetracked and I started talking about a whole bunch of other things, but greatness, I always keep coming back to that. And I guess, oh yeah, I think it was a whole thought of what would you call it, um wanting to make everybody happy, but also wanting to embody the part of myself that needs to be great, and knowing that part of myself inevitably, I don't even want to say that, most likely can't make everybody happy. And that's the shit that fucks me up. But those things, typically speaking, don't go together. They don't go together very well. Um Anyways, yeah, that's the shit that fucks me up the most. And I think it's the biggest battle and internal struggle that I've been fighting for damn near years. I want to say my whole life. For sure, a shit ton more over the course of the last few months. Um, that being said, I kind of want to preface things a little bit and just make it clear as day. It's like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I've genuinely spent probably the majority of my life going way too far out of my own way to make sure that everybody else was good before me. And it fucked me up and it's sad, and my life has not necessarily turned out the way that I've wanted it to for that reason. So, that being said, the thought pisses me off when I think of me starting to, I guess, look out for myself, but also try to look out for everybody else in the process of embodying the greatest version of myself, and catching flack for it because people don't like what I say, and the next thing you know, like, people hate me because I shared a sentiment or an opinion that they didn't fuck with, pretty much, and they stopped fucking with me, and it's just gonna make me mad. It already makes me mad. It frustrates me when I think about it because I'm like, bro, that's fucking stupid. And maybe it's only my fucking fault for just wasting time being fake, essentially being somebody who I wasn't in the purest fucking sense. And I kind of hesitate when I say that because my belief system is that there's no such thing as fake, and that might sound kind of weird, but I'm not trying to do fucking shameless plugs, but I wrote a whole fucking book about this shit. Everything is real, in my opinion. That's one of my core beliefs. I believe that everything is real. And what I mean when I say that is something similar to the whole, like, there's truth in everything type deal. And growing up, I would always say that there's no such thing as fake, which is essentially the same thing as saying everything is real. But what I would mean when I say that is essentially, if somebody, what would you call it, is being fake, I never looked at it as if they were being fake. I always looked at it as if they were being either really deceitful, typically speaking, or really insecure. You know what I'm saying? Because some people embody or take up, what would you call it, personas, I guess, either out of malicious intent and specifically trying to deceive people, or they do it because they want to be something that they're not, and they want to be something better, or that's perceived better than what they actually are. And so they act fake. And that's real. That's some real shit to do. To try to be something that you're not. To fake it till you make it type shit. That's real to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, fucking, in my book, at least as far as I can tell, like looking at those things in that light, I've always just kind of looked at it as if, like, well, I don't really think there's anything fake. You know what I'm saying? I just think that some things might be inauthentic. You know what I'm saying? That might be artificial, but they're still real. You know, there's real artificial shit. And I don't know. Maybe that's my own personal sentiment that I need to keep to myself, maybe. I don't know. Basically, I don't know. I've really been rambling though. I wonder how long it's been. Let me see. I have been talking for 20 minutes nonstop, and it blows my fucking mind. Holy shit. I'm really, really debating whether or not I should fucking um like post all of this shit. And I think I should, because I don't think I should be holding any of this back. But I think it's time for me to start getting into like the actual fucking shit. Cause I'm gonna have to post this shit like a lot. Like a lot. Like everyone's talking about like, oh, you gotta post like 20 times a fucking day. I don't have time to wait around to be like discovered like that. Like I'm trying to do this shit today. That's why I was talking about saving the whole fucking world in less than a fucking hour. Because I was like, and this is what fucks me up more than anything else. It's like, bro, the reason I talk about having my standards like all the way up here and not necessarily feeling like, it's to other people's palate, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like that their palates haven't adjusted to some shit like that, is because like I basically sit here and I think if you wanted to save the world, if you wanted to fix all the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? What would it take? And I genuinely believe that it's like as simple as rolling out of bed and telling the truth. Two sentences. All it fucking is, you wake up in the morning and you tell the fucking truth. Tell me why that's the hardest thing to do in the fucking world. Like genuinely, like to like and when I say tell the truth, I'm not even just talking about to other people. I'm talking about to yourself, to God, to life, to existence, to your soul, your spirit, your body, your mind, your body, to everything, to literally to everything. You know what I'm saying? And doing that shit unapologetically. And it's like I'm not gonna be 100% with that shit because everybody lies, everybody deceives, everybody whatever the fuck you call it. But I I know that the more you step into that box, the more that you step into that arena, the easier it becomes. And typically speaking, at least from what I've seen, the easier it becomes to do it, but the harder it becomes to, what would you call it, fit in society, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And it's so wild to me because it's like I was kind of loosely working in the education system for a little bit. So I'd be at schools a lot, and it's so funny to me because it's always the simple cliche shit. It's always the simple, very cliche. Everybody knows it. Everybody's heard it before, but it's way too fucking obvious to the point where we forgot it because it's been hidden in plain sight. If you walk around like a children's classroom, or you walk around a like an elementary school for literally just fucking 10 minutes, you will literally see at least 3 4 of the greatest pieces of advice you could ever be given in your entire fucking life. And one thing that sticks out to me more than anything else is this one sign that I saw when I was at one of the schools that said, why fit in when you were born to stand out? It's like, bro, oh yeah, like literally, it's like you read it and then you go like, oh yeah, big facts, that makes sense. Yup. And then you just go back to fitting in, and it's like, bro, that is it. That's the fucking answer, right? Fucking there. But it's like you don't want it to be. You want it to be more complicated. You want it to be more sophisticated. You want it to be some lifelong journey that you have to venture throughout the fucking cosmos to figure out why that shit has to be fucking, what would you call it, blended in with 30 different other things. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not that hard. Actually, let me rephrase. It's not that sophisticated, but it's very, very hard. It's very, very difficult because standing out in society is one of the deadliest double-edged swords that there is, as far as I'm concerned. Because again, we live in a society. We live in a social world. That's the world that we live in. Everything that we do, for the most part, the way that we function, the way that we structure our lives, are all focused and revolving around society, the social standings, so like the social structures. What's the word? Um, there's a word that people were throwing around like non fucking stop for fucking years. Social constructs. Social constructs. That's the fucking word. And this shit fucks me up every single time I think about it, because it was like people would use it to be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. That's just a social construct, as if it means nothing. A social construct is more real than a fucking table. Want some real shit? It's more real than literal contextual, physical, material fucking things, if you really fucking think about it. And it's like, why? It's because the metaphysical, the conceptual realm, the constructual, mental realm of these intangible things that we've built up and that we all operate around are damn near more real than the things we can actually touch, than things that have physicality. It's like, bro, is depression real? Is faith real? Is love real? Is hope real? Is trust real? Is I don't know, all that shit, all the things that significantly influence the way that we live and we operate with one another. The realest things tend to be the things that we can't fucking see. They're all metaphysical. And this is what blows my mind about life. Life is just so fucking interesting to me, because it's like, bro, it's so wild. Anyways, I feel like I'm getting jaded. I'm going all over the place, and I feel like I need to focus my attention and turn it back to one thing, and tell a cohesive story, because I keep calling it ADHD'd up, because it's like I can't. I want to have a point, because I know people's time is precious and all these fucking things, and I don't want to just sit here and be like I'm rambling and shit. But I feel like that's when the pure shit comes out, when I'm just fucking talking and shit. And it would be nice to know and be able to get in front of the camera and just talk about these things. I'd probably be more pointed if I had people to talk to, which ideally is the goal, because I do want people to talk to. I want to converse. I want to have conversations, and I want to you know what would you call it, share these thoughts, with someone. And I want to what would you call it, I'm trying to think of a word. I hyperfixate on finding the right words for things, but there's a reason for that, which is also in my book. Shameless plug again. It's really not that shameless. I'm fucking smiling and shit while I say it, but it just blows my fucking mind, because it's like, if there's any part of what anyone finds interesting about me, or what I'm saying, or what I'm doing, or my vision, or my goals, or the way that I go about explaining any of these ideas, it's like I wrote a whole fucking book where I deeply elaborated on my entire world perspective, to a fucking T. And I'm not even trying to be like whatever when I say this. I solved the fucking universe, and I put that shit in a fucking book. And I haven't even gotten a single fucking sale, bro. This shit fucks me up so much. I'm like, bro, this shit is so wild. It's so wild to think that being smart, talented, and hardworking isn't enough. That might sound conceited, but it's like genuinely, like I was reflecting on this like a while back, and it's just like, those don't necessarily, I don't want to say they have nothing to do with success, but they don't necessarily equal success. And what, how do I put it? You can be smart, hardworking, and talented, and have all of those things channeled toward the wrong thing. And it blows my fucking mind, because I'm like, well, if you're smart, how is that going to be the wrong fucking thing? You know what I'm saying? If you're talented, how is it the wrong fucking thing? Especially if it's something that you love doing. If it's something you love doing, it's not necessarily the wrong thing. But if your goal is success, and somewhat validation from other people, and money, and that's what also kind of trips me up when it comes to success and everything, because it's like, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very hardworking person. I consider myself to be talented, and I consider myself to be very smart. But I am, in the realm of society and societal standards, I'm a fucking loser, bro. I don't have shit, bro. My shit is not good. My shit is not fucking flowing. I don't got cash flow. I don't got resources and everything. My fucking let me not get too deep into all my personal shit, but to make a long story short, like I've been losing. The trajectory of my life has been in a downhill trajectory for a fucking while. Anyways, fucking, what would you call it? Damn, I lost my train of thought just thinking about the sad shit. But oh yeah, when it comes to success, it's interesting to think about because truth be told, it kind of boils down to supply and demand. Um, and it can be kind of hard because you can be putting a lot of effort, a lot of very smart and talented and hardworking effort into into um something that's not working, and then you sit there and you wonder like why is it not working, I guess. um and you wonder what that means or what that entails or what that implies. And it's like, well, you think about it enough and it's like, well, what does that mean? What's going on? And inevitably you come to the conclusion to a certain extent that it basically means that society doesn't value you or what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not even trying to jump the gun when I say that. It's like, well, fucking, it's like, what is money? And it's our shared store of value, among other things. I think there's like, five or six total things that money functions as. That might be currency, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, um, when when you're not getting money, you feel like the world doesn't value you, essentially, you know? And it can be frustrating to have that realization and get to that point where you realize, damn, like working hard, being smart, and being talented at something isn't necessarily enough to derive value, or at least to have society feel like they're deriving value from you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what, I don't know. I just be like, why the fuck am I broke, dude? If I genuinely understand how this shit works, if all this other shit, if I'm working hard, I'm like, I was told a different fucking story, but um I don't know. Now I'm just kind of bitching about the shit, but like I know, like I get it, like I understand it doesn't necessarily work that way, but I'm just kind of reflecting on the fact that it's just like, damn, like, you know, it's it's uh it's a tough pill to swallow. It's a very tough pill to swallow. Um, yeah, but I think I'm gonna pause for a second because I'm kind of getting way off track. Okay. Hopefully this shit is still good. There's a new like camera setup and everything that I'm trying out, so I'm trying to make sure everything is flowing smoothly. What I want is just to make sure that I can get in front of the camera and just fucking flow. That's what I want, because it's like I overthink way too much. And what I'm working on right now more than anything else is not overthinking. And it's so wild because I feel like I fucked myself up for the longest time, because I'm like, I say that, but what I was trying to do was like still, there's two sides to everything. So if you're overthinking, that means like, just think of this as a spectrum of thinking, right? So right here, this is the whole spectrum, and this is the middle, right? Over here is a lot of thinking, right? And on this side, it's no thinking. Or actually, we'll put it like this: right here's the middle. Right here is unlimited thinking. I don't even know if you can see it. Unlimited thinking on this side, and then there's no thinking on this side, because those would be the two polar ends of thinking, right? If you're overthinking, you're further on this side of the spectrum, right? If you're trying to stop overthinking, what you need is more of this. And I think what I've been trying to do is go from overthinking to thinking less. You know what I'm saying? But I think one of the best ways to learn a lot of the time is just to jump to the entire polar end of the spectrum entirely and just not fucking think. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. I'm just trying to like not fucking think and then just fucking talk and feel and I was about to say and think and do. You know what I'm saying? Which is scary, especially to go from overthinking to not thinking at all, because it's like I've spent my whole fucking life thinking. That's what I do best. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's this is one of the things that I do better than anything else. And it's like, well, why would I stop doing that? Because I feel like it's kind of kept me out of a lot of bad situations. It's kind of set me up for success in a lot of ways and everything. So it's like, how could you train yourself in what would you call it? Um, I don't know. How could you train yourself to just not fucking think? And it's like you just gotta turn your fucking brain off and just start doing shit and see what happens. And that's what's so interesting to me, because I'm like, well, what is that? And what would that look like? How would you embody that? And what that is it's like you're kind of putting yourself to the side, at least your conscious self to the side, and operating off of pure instinct. And that is when you really figure out who you are. As far as I'm concerned, that's when you figure out what you really feel. That's when you have Freudian slips and shit like that. Um, Very, very interesting stuff, very mind-blowing stuff, but very scary stuff, because it's like you don't get the opportunity to what would you call it? Self, not limit, but self I gotta fucking think. Um Censor. You don't get the opportunity to self-censor. Um which is hard because censorship is a very, very prominent component of the world that we live in today, because there's a lot of shit you can't say. There we go. Talk about a fucking segue. All right. That was the point of all of this. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to meld everything together and lead it up to this, because I know I said probably a decent amount of interesting stuff, but the whole point of all this, and the reason I was talking about this greatness and people hating on you and all this fucking thing, was because social suicide. That was the whole fucking thing. That's the whole fucking theme for a reason. Um, and fuck, I'm losing it again. Wait, social suicide, greatness, disregarding what other people fucking think. What fucking led me to the fucking thing, bro? This is also kind of what's so hard for me, because I feel like my mind moves a little bit too fast for me to keep a cohesive story going for damn near fucking anything. So I just don't fucking talk, because I'm like, bro, um, what would you call it? It's gonna come back to me in a second. Give me a little bit. Give me a little bit. Give me a little bit. I get frustrated when I can't remember what it is that I want to remember. It's part of why I write so much. All I need is, I'm pretty sure it was two fucking words. All I need is the two fucking words that I was thinking. And I don't want to waste time or battery or fucking all this shit, bro. Um, Let me calm down. Let me pause it. Okay, I remembered. It's There's a long, long list of things that everybody knows, everybody thinks, everybody feels, but nobody can say. Censorship. That's what it is. Censorship. Um. Ooh, fuck. I have to stop censoring myself. That's kind of what the whole deal is about. I'm still kind of beating around the bush, because I'm like, well, fucking, where do I start? But it's all about telling the truth, and I guess that's the biggest thing. Um, Holy shit. It's become unbelievably apparent to me over the course of my life that there's a long list of things that everybody knows, everybody thinks, everybody feels, but nobody says or nobody can say. Um, or feel a lot of the time. There are emotions that we're not meant to feel, that we're not, I don't want to say meant to feel, but we're told, or what would you call it? I don't know, that we're not supposed to feel. You know what I'm saying? And something about that doesn't sit well with me. So I'm a philosopher at the core. I question damn near everything, and I end up thinking to myself, are there certain thoughts that we shouldn't have? Are there certain things that we shouldn't feel? Are there certain I should say, are there certain feelings that we shouldn't feel? Are there certain things that we shouldn't do. Um, all of these things. One of the things that fucks me up more than anything else is, are there certain things that we shouldn't question? Which is just one of the trippiest fucking things for me in my head, because I'm like, well, I don't know, curiosity killed the cat type shit. I think about that shit a lot. Um, and it constantly puts me at odds when it comes to religion, um, or a lot of religious practices, or faiths, or disciplines, or things of that nature, because embedded in a lot of those practices is the whole concept of, you are not supposed to question this, which is something that I personally feel as if, I'll put it like this: if I were to have a faith that were meant to be good for me and meant to propel me forward in terms of mastering life, I would suspect that it would encourage and allow you inherently in the religion or faith itself to question it non fucking stop. Now, I get very, very hesitant, and I get very, very careful when it comes to talking about people's faiths or faith, religion, um, even spiritual practices, anything of that nature, because it's the first thing that comes to mind. Is I end up thinking, well, those things you don't want to play around with. More specific than anything else, I know I'm going to be very influential. Just knowing what I know about myself and knowing how I'm going to conduct myself in life and everything like that. That being said, playing with people's world perceptions, but more importantly, playing with their belief systems, don't do it. You don't do that. As far as I can tell, you don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'll put it like this so that I don't waste too much time talking about the subject matter. But if you have faith in something, great. Keep doing that. That's it. That's really it. That's. I think that's genuinely the best approach, sentiment, and idea that I can have surrounding these things, regardless of whether or not it comes to, if I agree, if I feel like there's contradictions. Life is a fucking contradiction. So I don't give a fuck if somebody's faith or religious practice has contradictions in it. It's just how the shit fucking goes. And if you can't come to terms with that, then I can understand you not necessarily being okay with having faith in anything. And if that's a life you want to live, that's fine. But in a world or plane of existence, or a life where you're able to have something that you can believe in, where belief itself exists in the first place, where you can conjure up something that influences you that you may not know, you know what I'm saying? But you feel and know as if it's there. You know what I'm saying? And it impacts you, and that influence is there. It makes it realer than anything else in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it just blows my mind. I don't know. Now I'm just reflecting, but anyways, yeah. That's kind of my whole thought process when it comes to faith, religion, all of those things. I guess I just kind of wanted to put that out a little bit. Because on some real shit, I was kind of gonna get on here and do a whole rip on this and that and go left and right and everything. But I'm like, realistically speaking, for all I know, I've caused myself way more trouble questioning things so much than I would have if I decided to literally just pick up a practice that has already been mapped out and formulated. Because there's a good chance that somebody or a multitude of people have already lived basically the same experiences that I have. And throughout living those experiences, or at least aspects of those experiences, have come to the same conclusions that I'm going to come to when I'm probably like fucking 60, 70 or some shit. And I don't know. All I'm saying is I can end up being like fucking 70 years old and then coming to the conclusion like, yep, I should have just been Christian my whole fucking life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ignorant to the possibility of that being something that could happen. Like that could reasonably be something that could happen. Um, and that's fine. If that's the case, if that's what ends up happening, I just want to leave that door open. And for the time being, I'm at a space where I just want to question things because that's what feels right to me. And I'm a person who needs that reassurance, and I need to have that constant questioning before I'm willing to fully give in and submit to pretty much any ideology ever. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a great thing, all things considered, because it's like when I come to a conclusion about shit, and again, this is me with my personal standard, but when I come to a conclusion about shit, I don't want to sit here and say it's fucking facts, like it's law or some shit, but I'm like, it takes a lot for me to make an ultimatum. I don't make ultimatums. I don't do that shit, like at all. Like part of the reason me and my ex broke up is because she wanted to make me make a whole bunch of ultimatums. And I was like, I can't do that shit. I'm sorry, I can't. But it's not in my character to, especially for somebody else. Like, don't get me fucking wrong. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to relationships, love, marriage, all those things. Um, anyways, yeah, I think it's time I kind of move away from like my personal kind of broader ideas surrounding all these things and just kind of start talking about the shit that applies to society that I think the controversial shit, the shit that everybody thinks and knows or has an understanding of, but nobody wants to fucking talk about. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna just start talking off the rip type shit. Um, so the world is fucked up. I live in America. America, as far as I can tell, is the most powerful country in the world. So if there were any place where, saving the world wasn't just a theory and it could actually fucking happen, I feel like it'd be here. Two, I feel like if anybody were to be able to make that happen or to spearhead the operation in terms of making that in actuality, I believe it would have to be a minority. And the reason I say that is because white people don't have a say so anymore in this country, unfortunately. And that's backed by, what would you call it, the social um, I don't know, the social fabric of our world, and basically, white privilege type shit. If you're white, you're privileged. You don't. It's sad because it's like I'm sitting here and I'm basically watching as there's so much that I want to say. Being a young black underprivileged man in America, dealing with the shit that I deal with, I completely understand why a lot of us are mad. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense for us to be mad. I wake up some days and I'm like, kind of on my Zen shit a little bit more. And then I fucking realize I'm like, no, I need to be mad. Like, I don't even want to say need to, but like, I should be mad. Reasonably speaking, if you just look at the shit that's going on, you understand the history, the things that led up to the situation that I've been in, I should be mad. Like it makes sense for me to be mad. It would almost be fucking crazy if I wasn't, or if I wasn't fucking frustrated. You feel me? That being said, it blows my fucking mind because I'm literally watching as society makes it so that that's the exact same situation for young white males. And it's so the saddest part about it is that I say that and I know that at least, like, I want to say a good fifth of the people who could potentially be watching this or may have heard something similar go like, good. You know what I'm saying? And those are the people who are the fucking problem. So if you were one of those people, I don't know how else to put this, but it's like you've got some shit to fucking figure out because you're trying to make an enemy and you don't need to do that. We're all in the same fucking boat. Let's not do that anymore, and let's not have a population of people who get mad, become problematic, and then, for lack of a better explanation, result to doing things like taking a trying to be careful because I'm not trying to get flagged for shit. Taking a dangerous automatic tool and wreaking havoc on a lot of people at once at a place where that should never happen. And there's a reason that those situations tend to come from a certain demographic. That's all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, it's so wild because the social fabric of our world is kind of what's driving a lot of this stuff. And what would you call it? I lost my train of thought. Okay, I remembered. Yeah, white people don't get a say so. This is just basic psychology, but it's like if you don't let people have a fucking voice, they just ball up their emotions and then it ends up exploding. Hence what I was just saying about, you know, taking a certain tool and you get what I'm saying. You get where I'm going with this shit. It's not a good setup. Let white people talk. Let white men have a fucking voice, bro. It's not like, and it's so wild to say that and know that it's coming from a young black man. And I know people are gonna probably be on some Uncle Tom shit, especially because I fucking articulate myself well. And that shit is just a whole fucking. I could do a whole fucking movie about that shit right there, bro. I saw this one fucking TikTok where this girl was talking about it. Like, she was like, yeah, I sound white. I sound like I want a better future for myself, nigga. Blah, blah, blah. All this fucking shit. And I was like, bro, this shit was fucking hilarious. And it's such a double-edged thing because it's like, bro, like, it's so wild because, like, why is talking white, why is speaking properly, I guess, or using, what would you call it, proper English, I guess, you know, or being whitewashed also associated with doing the things that naturally make life better for you. You know what I'm saying? And that sparks a whole conversation about, you know, black culture and all these things or whatever. And I get it. I get it. I get the whole whitewashing thing, the whole Uncle Tom thing. It's like, fuck it. Like, I really don't care about that shit as much anymore. I'm just fucking, like, talking, but it's just like, shit, bro. Oh, fucking. Anyways, what would you call it? Oh yeah, if that being the case, because the nature of our society and the social world that we live in, with all of these things, yeah, I suspect that if there were to be someone or a group of people or an archetype of a person who was in a position to speak about certain things, have prominence, and not have people fucking cast them off for whatever fucking reasons, for whatever, what would you call them? Just shitty fucking elementary type shit, whatever, like shallow, all that fucking shit. It would have to be a minority at this point because white people don't get a say so. People might not like this, but I feel like it would have to be a man. I don't think it has to be a man, but I feel like it would most likely be a man, for various reasons. Men and women are built different. We wouldn't have different fucking names for them if they weren't. But shit, just throw that out. That's just a social construct because everything that's a social construct is just insignificant because it's something we thought of. Like thought itself, especially like collective and cumulative thought that we all agree on is just nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's the most important shit in the world. Fucking, we have languages that are based on, bro, fuck that shit. Anyways, any fucking ways, yeah, I don't know. I'm basically just sitting here saying why I think a young, somewhat out of touch black man in America might be one of the best archetypes to spearhead an operation towards saving the fucking world. Because who else and where else? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That might be one of the hottest takes I fucking have. I think I just got to start spewing out hot takes for real because I'm like, bro, I'm on a fucking roll, bro. But yeah, so I guess let's just start talking about the fucking problem. So the shit that irritates me more than anything else is like there are social problems. We all know this. We live in a society, you know what I'm saying? The social problems are the things that we care about the most because those are the things that influence us the most. And we all come from a subset of a a social ecosystem or community that deals with certain social problems that we're all vocal and very passionate about. For me, it's being a young black male coming from the black community or the black ecosystem. And I know these things like the back of my fucking hand, but I don't talk about them much. And the reason I don't talk about them is a very good reason for it. And it's because it doesn't help anymore. And people are, I don't want to say it doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? But I'll put it like this. When I say we're, I'm talking about marginalized groups, everyday people, the majority, and I emphasize that because we are the fucking majority, underprivileged, marginalized groups. There's just a lot of us in different realms. We are the majority. We don't have any fucking leverage. That's why everybody hates the government. That's why nothing is fucking working. That's why everybody feels like we're getting screwed over. And they basically say it's like 13 families versus the whole fucking world, or at least all of America, I guess. So, with that being said, if we are the majority and we do live in a democracy, a corrupt democracy at that, but if that is the case, then why aren't we able to ever get what we want? And the reason is because we're too deluded. Everybody knows that. I'm sure you've heard that before. It's like, oh, blah, 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 like whatever, divide and conquer type shit. I'm not even on some conspiracy type shit. I genuinely believe that's just like a natural force of the universe and entropy coming into play where we just end up being diluted and we're too spread out and shit. It's the same thing that happens on an individual level. It's hard to focus. It's hard to channel your energy into one thing and stick to that. You know what I'm saying? So if you have, let's just say 13, 14, 15 subsets of people all basically screaming at each other saying like, no, this first, this is this problem first. This is the biggest thing that we all need to turn our attention to. In my book, it's a waste of fucking time. So every single time I see somebody individually talking about their communities or their what would you call it, their marginalized groups social issue and why there needs to be more awareness brought to it, all I see is another person diluting what could be used as channeled effort into focusing on one thing, which is what we need to do if we actually want to have leverage. And that's the whole fucking point when it comes to all this shit. We need leverage, which we can easily get as the majority. I saw this TikTok the other day of this girl who mapped out with precision basically how we can fix the government and take control over our corrupt society again. And it blew my fucking mind. I was like, yes, we need more of that shit. Like, that's the same fucking wave I've been on my whole fucking life. And I fucking loved it. And I loved it so much because one of my biggest dreams is to find millions of people who are on the same wave, who share that same level of dedication towards focusing on finding alternative methods of fixing shit as opposed to just yelling in the street, trying to get attention from people who don't want to give us attention. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're just yelling to the other people in the fucking street. What we need is pinpoint, precise, step-oriented problem solving. That's what we need. We don't need more people yelling in the street. We don't need more awareness, and we don't need people shouting over each other trying to make sure that their problem gets more awareness than the other ones. You know what I'm saying? That's a waste of fucking time. It's diluting the energy. And it's one of those deals where it's like, it sounds cliche as fuck because it is. I don't know if you've seen every movie ever, but the story always, the answer always is we need to work together better. That's it. That is it. We need to work together, but we need to do a better job at working together. And we need to figure that shit out. And it just blows my fucking mind because it's like, I'm not going to shit on anybody for trying to bring awareness to the things that they're passionate about. Trust me, I get it. I can sit here all fucking day and talk about all the disparities and all the pitfalls that come with being a young, underprivileged black man in America and all these fucking things. I can explain why it's so hard and why certain things layer on top of one another in ways that I feel like all the other, marginalized groups may not understand, especially white people. We're not going to get on the whole, or privileged white people, I should say. You got to be careful with the boxing people in because that's also part of the problem, which is also why I feel like going back to what I was saying about the young white men. I hope I said young underprivileged white men because that's specifically what I meant. But I'm watching as society gives young, underprivileged white men every single reason to hate themselves and hate the world and hate the society that they live in. And it's like people wonder why we got pool pooters. Really, I'm really trying not to get flagged for shit. You gotta be careful, bro. I'm new to this content stuff, so should I stop cussing too? I think I can cuss. I think that's fine. Let me make sure this shit is still recording. Damn, I'm an hour in. Um, so, anyways, um, there's so much. I just say so much, and then I try to reflect on what did I just say, and the answer is, well, I just said a lot. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about, but anyways, what would you call it? Um, I'm gonna pause it. Okay. Another reason I'm doing this, and I may have already like loosely mentioned this or referenced this earlier, but um I'll put it like this. I'm broke as fuck, right? Um SNAP benefits were at least about to get turned off, right? My family lives off SNAP. Fucking I was already working close to full time beforehand. But I was spending a shit ton of time at work not making enough money to get out of the position or the cycle that I was in. Um, and most of my money went towards contributing towards the cycle of me working so that I could keep contributing towards the cycle of me working and not making any growth and all this shit. And it was just so ass because I'd get online on social media and everybody felt like the same thing was going on. Meanwhile, all the shit is going on. The wealthy are getting wealthier, the poor are getting poorer. People can't afford to take care of themselves, making like 15, 16, whatever dollars an hour. Every single fucking place you go, there's only two people because they're laying off people and they're cutting back on hours. What would you call it? The economy is about to go to shit. Everybody knows it, and it's just one of those things where it's just like, ah, fuck, like we're headed for a recession. We might be in a recession. We're being gaslit. Everybody knows that shit, and everyone's like, ah, fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just that there's so much bullshit going on to the point where it's like people are just giving up hope, and we're like, what the fuck do we do? And there's people basically having their families being displaced, people being taken out of their homes. There's all this shit going on with ICE. There's all this shit going on with the we call it leader of the free world, you know. Shit, damn. I'm even hesitant to say his fucking name because I feel like I say his name and then people are gonna click off the video. That's another thing that fucking irritates me because I'm like, bro, there shouldn't be any of that, bro. We need to be able to have these conversations without people getting emotionally triggered by the name of one of the most prominent people fucking ever, you know, positive or negative. You know what I'm saying? We need more mental resilience in that aspect. Everybody's got to stop being soft. Stop this fucking snowflake shit, bro. It's not fucking helping, and it's not even like ethical type shit. It's not even moral type shit. You're just adding to the fucking problem of people not wanting to converse about the shit that's actually fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like we need to clearly identify. Anyways, let me chill out. I'm getting too hyped up about all this shit, but there's a whole lot of bullshit going on. I was already in a downwards trajectory. It seems like things are about to get harder. Now AI is about to displace shit tons of jobs. They're fucking literally laying off in some of the biggest companies. They're doing mass layoffs. All these fucking things. And at some point, ChatGPT 10 is going to come out, and we need to be ready for that. We need to figure out how collectively as a society, the underprivileged population of the West is not about to just get fucked in the ass all the way through because of fucking growth. Growth that excludes us, whether that be in wealth, value, just technology, all these fucking things. And that's it's a paralleled sentiment as to why I get so frustrated and so passionate about the problems in the black ecosystem, I guess, because it's like, well, I try to put this very short and sweetly, I guess, but let's say you have a certain population of people who are displaced from their own situation, held back for hundreds of years, while society and natural universal forces led to growth in certain areas and just in life and in general. Um, that's the thing about exponential growth that just blows my fucking mind. It's like exponential growth is happening right here, and we're just gonna keep you out of it for a few hundred years, and then we're gonna, you know, kind of let go of the limitations, say you're free, and then basically expect you to catch up when Basically it's like a 10 over here exponentially growing to a 1 over here exponentially growing, and you expect that 1 to catch up to the 10. That's not how it fucking works. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're forever going to be playing catch up at something that it's not even necessarily that it got to start ahead. It's that it's starting ahead with more that exponentially grows faster because it, you know what I'm saying? It's like you learn a lot about how life works when you start understanding how money works and just basic math. Anyways, it's that. But that it's not to make the whole thing about the all that shit, but it blows my fucking mind because that should be enough to explain why there's such huge disparities. But even aside from that, that is literally just a good 15% of the problem, I would say. The 15% of the disparities and the shit that holds black people back, or at least black ecosystems back. Anyway, yeah, so shit is fucked. Shit is fucked. Everybody knows it. We're headed for dystopian type shit that's not going away. AI is becoming better and more prominent. Everybody lives through a fucking screen, right? Social media is damn near is what would you call it? Is probably the most prominent driving force in people's world perception as to what they should believe, what's going on in the world, and how they should feel about their counterparts in our society, about other people. Everyone's losing faith in the world as time goes on because everyone's seeing all this bullshit, seeing people engage in the bullshit more and more, and feeling as if we're hopeless and we're just degenerating as a society, all in all. Idiocracy is turning out to literally just be a prophecy about the fucking future. Blows my fucking mind. And yeah, I rolled it out of bed and I decided I'm gonna start telling the fucking truth because it's like I don't want to deal with that shit, bro. It's like we need to do something. We gotta do something. We gotta figure something out. And the reason I always come back to defending myself prematurely is because it's like I know I'm going to get to the point where I'm saying shit that people don't like and don't want to hear. But it's like people need to understand it's like that self-censorship is oh fuck. That self-censorship is literally what's going to allow all of these forces to eat us up and fuck us over and make us lose. You know what I'm saying? Um and more than anything else, I want to stress that the reason I'm doing it in the manner and the capacity at which I'm doing it right now is specifically because I've spent my whole life self-censoring myself for the sake of other people. I've spent my whole life holding myself back for the sake of everyone else because I wanted everyone else to be happy. Now I'm being vocal about this shit because yes, I want myself to be happier, but I also want other people to be happy too. I want to save the fucking world, you know what I'm saying? And even if I'm not saving the world, I want to save the aspects of the world that need fucking saving. And I feel like we need fucking saving now. Tell me I'm not fucking tripping, like please, because it's like, bro, there's just so much bullshit going on. It's ridiculous, and it pains my soul to think that somebody's gonna stand up. And this is a timeless pattern that I see. I feel like all throughout history is like and this is why it's like, bro, they killed Jesus, bro. They killed fucking Jesus. Like, think about that shit, bro. And it's like, bro, it's so fucking sad because it's like, knowing this world that we live in and the social fabric that hangs over us all the fucking time, it's like the moment, God forbid it be a fucking man, the moment somebody stands up and claims, I'm a good person, I have good things to say, I'm trying to do good, and I want to be a prominent voice, I want to have influence, right? The moment that person actually seems like a good person and seems like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's in human nature for our first thought to be like, well, this seems a little too good to be true. What's wrong with you? And that's followed by an onslaught of people basically doing everything in their power to make you not good or to find anything that can point towards you not being good. And I guess that's why I get so defensive about this shit because it's like, I know I want to do that. I know I want to do that more and more, and I know I'm going to do that. And it's just so irritating because I'm like, damn, like, I'm going to stand up and try to be a good person. I'm going to stand up and try to be a good voice. which inevitably is going to invite people to do everything that they can in their power to make me not a good person. You know what I'm saying? On that fucking note, so that just reminded me of the key thing that I've been trying to remember about all this fucking thing. Let's talk about future-proofing yourself, because one of the scary thoughts of this kind of dystopian world that we're heading for, and I don't want to sound like it's going to be like a sci-fi fucking movie. We may already be in the midst of the shit and to the fullest extent or whatever the fuck. But one of the key things that I've been trying to focus on for a while is figuring out, how do you future-proof yourself for the future that we're heading for. And what I mean when I say that is, there are evil forces in this world. There are evil people in this world. There are evil entities. There are people who have malicious intent and things that they're not trying to help. And they want to see anybody who's trying to help or problem solve fail. That being said, they're going to have better means of doing it in a world where everyone experiences life through a screen, specifically a screen where, and social media platforms where people are now able to generate hyper realistic videos, images, things of that nature that, I don't know, twist people's fabric of reality. You know what I'm saying? They have tools that historically speaking, they've never had before. And people who are unethical are going to use the fuck out of them like nobody else. They probably already are. And they're probably making a shit ton of money doing it. And it's so funny because it's like, this is originally what the whole book was supposed to be about. I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure the shit is still recording. Because I feel like at any fucking time, either my phone might die or my storage is full because I'm recording in fucking 4K. What'd you call it? This is the thing that fucks me up about evil. The book, I wrote a book called 444 Birds. In the book, originally there was going to be a whole section. Look, on some real shit, I have like 3-4 other books that I need to write, but there was going to be a section where I broke down evil and how it operates and why it operates the way it does and where you need to look in order to find it, specifically a force that tends to operate in the shadows or places that it can't easily be seen, and how that manifests. They say the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that it didn't exist. And that's, in my eyes, one of the most profound things that has ever been thought or felt or said ever, because it's like, holy shit. It's like, yeah, that's facts. It's like that's a trick that that's probably the smartest fucking trick that you could fucking pull. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm getting off track, but my whole fucking point is that how will the greatest evils manifest in the world that we're building today? And it would for sure be in a way where it's like, it's not as easily, it's hidden in plain sight. And well, let me not get too kind of like theoretical or broad with it. Basically, I'm just saying, let me keep it a little bit more contained. If you have any hopes of being a prominent figure in the future and standing up for good, evil or evil forces or malicious forces will most likely try to socially defame you. Again, we live in a society, we live in a social world. So, and again, this is why I come back to this whole social suicide theme. The whole theme is based upon the fact that essentially, because we live in a society, your social status or your reputation or all these things that are based in where you stand in terms of social hierarchy and structure and sentiment and all these things are essentially who you are to everyone else. Because again, we live in a society, you know what I'm saying? You say fuck everybody else and you stop giving a fuck about society, society stops kind of giving a fuck about you in a lot of different ways. That being said, and you know, also being mindful of all the things of how we evolved and adapted to what would you call it? I don't know, look for social validation in terms of, you know, needing society in terms of, or social validation in order to survive. I don't know how to word it, but basically the whole point is like that shit will kill us. You know what I'm saying? Social defamation will kill us. That is cancel culture. That's what it is. That is the greatest weapon of evil as far as I'm concerned. Cancel culture, because if you can cancel somebody, you can socially defame them. You can tarnish their name in this society and social fabric. You kill them. You know what I'm saying? Because we live in a society. It's a social world. That's kind of it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have a platform, you're prominent, all these fucking things. You know what I'm saying? You get money from having a platform and having a certain position in the social hierarchy and social status and all these things. That being said, because I feel like I'm over explaining all this shit. What would you call it? Yeah, cancel culture and social defamation will easily be the biggest fucking tools to stop people, specifically good people. And fuck, this one's tough because there's a lot to explain surrounding it. But I hope people are able to fill in the gaps, right? In a world where everyone's living through a fucking screen and experiencing the world through a screen and getting their information through a screen, I don't even really want to elaborate on that shit more than I have to. It's like you can imagine what I'm getting at. It's kind of like the shit that happened with Jake Paul. Apparently there was a whole bunch of videos going on about or going out of him like basically being gay and being very flamboyant and doing shit like dancing in a dress, and they were all AI generated and they were deep fakes and they looked very, very, very fucking real. Again, ChatGPT 10 is going to come out. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be able to distinguish the real from the fake through these screens anymore. And everybody gets their information and figures out what's going on through the world through these things. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not going to be a medium anymore that we can trust. It's just not. And part of that fucking scares me because it's like I'm looking to step up and basically be like, yo, I'm going to engage with these platforms. I'm going to put myself out in that capacity. But I'm gonna fight evil. That's what I want to do. I want to be good. I want to be a fucking hero. I've always wanted to be a fucking hero. I grew up fucking watching Naruto, Dragon Ball Z. My favorite show right now is My Hero Academia. Fucking Midoriya, bro. Bro, don't even get me started on that fucking shit, bro. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but Shigaraki being the epitome of evil, the embodiment of destruction and pure evil and hatred and all these fucking things or whatever. Midoriya is like, fuck that shit, bro. You're misguided. I saw a little boy up in you. I can see it in your fucking eyes. I'm about to save you and I'm gonna save the world in the same fucking process, and I'm gonna do it while kicking ass and looking sweet as fuck. You call me Deku type shit. Blew my fucking mind. Anyways, the way he operates, bro, the way all that fucking shit, amazing. And it's part of the reason I love anime and shows like this so much, because it's like they are able to embody, and let me make sure this shit is still going. Yes, they are able to embody and what'd you call it, actualize and bring to life and show and showcase. There's a word that I'm trying to think of, but they're able to display ideas and emotions that are very, very fucking real, but just hard to emulate in real fucking life. You know what I'm saying? But that's just so fucking real. We need Midoriya, bro. Fucking, because we're fighting Shigaraki. That's what's going on, bro. And it's like, how the fuck do you beat somebody who can just destroy things by touching them? How do you do that shit? Well, I'll tell you, you got to learn how to fucking float. You got to learn Black Whip. You got to learn, I was about to say all for one. No, you got to learn one for all that shit. Anyways, I'm nerding out. Let me chill out. I need to go to Comic-Con though, bro. I've always wanted to go my whole fucking life. Bro. Anyways, yeah, we're in some deep shit, basically. We're in some real deep fucking shit, and we need better means of problem solving. And yeah, talk about the biggest fucking tangent in the world. Anyways, oh yeah, future proofing yourself. The whole, yeah. I wanted to put this out as a means of hedging against the potentiality of the future or a future where someone is basically trying to defame my character utilizing the most revolutionary technology ever been invented, nefariously, essentially, in a world where everyone experiences life through a fucking screen. I don't say everyone, but you know, in the Western world and all this fucking shit. To basically say, well, if and make it clear as day that I'm there and I've already kind of put this out there. If anybody wants to future proof themselves, and I'm trying to apply these principles to myself, you need a few things. This is how you give yourself immunity, as far as I can tell. One, you need money. You need money. You need money and freedom. You need the freedom to do and say as you please. Kind of already tried stepping into that territory a little bit more. What'd you call it? Anyways, you need to somewhat socially suicide, and that's the whole reason. That's the theme of what I'm trying to do, because the use of social defamation to kill your presence cannot be a concern. It cannot be a concern at all. You cannot be worried about fucking, oh, they're going to say this and blah, 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 and they're going to figure this out, and this is going to be a thing that they say, and they're going to twist this, and it can't. It just can't. It cannot. It's non-negotiable. Like, literally, if you're going to fight the good fight in the future, especially if you're trying to be someone prominent in the social world and everything, you got to be ready for this shit. Because it's like there's going to be ways to defame your character like never before, especially in a world where nobody's able to distinguish the real from the fucking fake anymore. And people aren't going to get off these fucking screens. They're not going to get off social media like that. So if you're going to try to fight the good fight in that realm, it's like you got to be ready to fucking stand tall in that shit and have basically hell brought to your fucking face. You know what I'm saying? So social suicide is a big aspect of learning how to give yourself that immunity in terms of being able to fight the good fight and not being having social defamation be a liability that's holding you back from operating at the fullest capacity at which you're able to operate at. What else? So you need your own time, you need money, you need freedom. And there was one more thing. There might have been two more things. But that social, that being able to cancel out social defamation is a big thing. A big part of that, I think this is the part that I probably needed to talk about the most, has to do with being yourself and fully embodying who you are. Oh, that's what it is. Support. You need support. Oh, you need people to know who you are and fully support you and accept you. Maybe not fully accept, something in that thing. I haven't worked out all the kinks about this shit, but basically it's like you need to fuck. You need to be unbelievably clear in who you are as a person so that people can see that shit and be like, that's not them. They wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? And even if they don't know, they have the sense and the strength and conviction in their idea of who you are as a person to question it enough to be like, maybe, I don't know, but I know they're solid enough to, I don't know, tell the truth if people fucking ask. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. So I guess this is kind of like my own PSA to anyone who wants to future-proof themselves and wants to make sure that they're able to or in a position to fight the good fight in a world where evil is not gonna fucking hesitate to utilize these means of contorting and twisting people's reality to fucking whatever the fuck. You know what I'm getting at. You can imagine the shit. You can imagine that shit